Hello, and welcome to a Filthy Talk, Filthy Lot's weekly live panel discussion show. We're coming at you live from North Vancouver on the traditional lands of the Squamish Nation. We would like to recognize the privilege to work, play, and create on these beautiful lands, and encourage you at home to look up or tell us in the chat where you are watching from. What traditional lands are you on right now? If you don't know, look it up. Find out. Do some research. Learn some stuff. I mean, research. Google it.
That is research.
Modern day research, yeah.
Yep. Hashtag Google.
Yep. Welcome to the show. And I'm Trevor Gemma. This is Roz Young. And returning as captain of the Starship Chatroom, Ash Turner. Hey. Okay. You're still repping. You got the...
I mean, I've got the jacket.
Oh.
But I was just doing an exercise program on the holodeck that I had to rush back from, so I'm still in my gear.
Is this standard Federation issue workout clothing?
Absolutely. I wouldn't be caught dead in anything else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I do see the communicator badge still on your tank top there, so.
Well, of course, I'm still on the ship.
Oh, you're still on duty?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you need to reach her in case of emergencies.
Kicking things off, is there anything in nerd news you want to talk about?
Well, in just general news, I want to start with May is National Asian Heritage Month.
Ah, yes.
Very exciting. And speaking of learning more, I encourage everybody to read, research, do some learning. One of my things that I did was listen and participate in the experience of a poem by Canadian poet Christopher St. And I think Ash can link it in the chat for us. It's really powerful. It's part of a PSA as a part of the campaign this month to learn more about Asian heritage in Canada.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit of a dark past, as most things in the past are.
Particularly in Vancouver right now, one of the hot spots for hate crime.
Yeah.
What a way to start the show, everybody. Learn about hate crimes. But it's really important. And I think everyone
It is super important.
Yeah.
And there's only one way to improve who you are and how you act is to learn from mistakes.
Yeah,
Not only
totally.
yours, but those of the past.
And things that you don't know that are part of your privilege because you don't know that stuff yet.
Yep.
Find out more.
Learn.
Okay, your nerd news.
Yeah, mine's actually nerdy. Hang your head in shame. No, I'm kidding. It's great. I want to talk about, there's a bit more news, more information about upcoming all virtual E3, the entertainment expo that happens yearly. It's all video game centric convention. And as all conventions have been for the last, oh God, it feels like longer, but it's over a year now. It's completely online. It's all virtual. It's happening in June from the 12th to the 15th. And this is,
It's crazy how close that is. That's disturbing.
Yeah, it's a month away. It's freaky, I know. So they've announced that they have an online portal and app, and that through that they're creating, not only are they doing 4 days of different companies and everything making their announcements within the game world, but they're going to have virtual booths. So it's like you can actually tour a convention floor, and there'll be different sort of vendors that have within there. They'll have their own experiences, their own conferences, and that kind of thing that aren't part of the main broadcast.
Nice.
But there'll be virtual booths, hosted events, video conferencing. You can create your own profile and avatar. There's going to be lounges so that you can meet other people. They're bringing a social aspect to it, so you're not just a viewer.
Nice.
And online forums and stuff. So there'll be 4 days of broadcasting and live streaming, but the virtual experience will run parallel to the 4-day broadcast. And they say they're laying the foundation for the interactive E3 elements that will continue beyond this year's all virtual event.
Ooh.
So this is going to set the bar for, or at least start the bar for what conventions will be like after this is all over. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a more immersive, so that you don't have to physically be there anymore. There's that aspect of it. You can physically go.
I think we've learned a lot from the pandemic that there are some good things.
Yeah.
Grocery delivery, amazing, saved my life. I will never go back. But with cons, I think, there's some years that you just can't make it, or they're expensive, and sometimes the travel just doesn't work out for you.
Yeah, or
and
you don't get a ticket because they sell out super
Oh.
fast.
But to be able to still participate and the types of things that they can offer online now because of having to learn and use some more technology and some of the resources, I think it's amazing.
I think it's going
love
to
it.
evolve in a really cool way. Like, I think about comic book conventions, and that people could do, like, vendors that are just there to, sell their wares, could do virtual things. If you can afford to go to the place with your whole booth set up, you
That's
can
amazing.
you could do like an Etsy shop, or like you just have your own online shopping platform and a booth for people to shop through that's hosted by the thing. You give like a convention discount or something. Like, I think that there's going to be a double aspect. Essentially, it's going to make conventions bigger than they ever were.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excited.
Other quick news. I don't know if you read about it, but Ubisoft is saying they're going to do less AAA games and more high-end free-to-play. We all know what that means.
Free to start playing. Free to start playing.
Free to pay in microtransactions.
This is true.
Ah.
Well, I mean, it's not always just
Boom.
microtransactions. It's that, or it's DLCs, or it's like pay to unlock the whole like inventory or whatever. But I mean, yeah, whatever.
I mean, if you're into that,
Yeah. I mean, the thing that's kind of
Play
cool
Ubisoft
about
games.
that, spinning things in a positive light, is you kind of get to try the game to see if you want to really invest in it. Like, if you have a free-to-play game, you get to see, it's like, maybe this isn't for me. Like, it's okay, but I don't think I'm going to go the extra mile. And that's pretty sweet.
yeah, I guess I'll see what happens
Yeah.
when I see.
Oh, another quick nerd news thing for ye old Federation. Starfleet Command, the video game, just announced a TNG expansion. So they're bringing all of the next generation cast. Well, sorry, not all of them. No Worf and no Deanna Troi for whatever reason.
What?
But Data, Beverly, Geordi, Riker, and Picard is going to be DLC for Starfleet Command. So you with your new gaming rig, you're probably going to want to play this game.
I very much do. My new gaming system supplied by our very own tech director, Alex.
Okay.
Wait, I want to do one more really quick one.
Do it.
Last week you were talking about, recasting people. And Dave
Yes.
Bautista was saying this week that by the time Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out, he might be too old to play Drax again. And he's encouraging them to find someone else. And of course, James Gunn was like, no, it can never be anyone else. But Bautista is like, heck yeah. Doesn't mean that this is the end of the road for Drax. It's just the end of the road for me as Drax the Destroyer.
Huh.
So,
So he's on my side. Well, I mean, maybe not specifically in that instance, but there you go. You have an actor saying, I'm not the role
forever. Yeah.
forever. Like, it doesn't die with me. This is a character that existed before me and can exist after me. Yeah, I dig on that.
Okay, that's enough.
Sweet. Okay. So speaking of like conventions and what they're going to look like and looking forward and being hopeful and all that kind of thing, it's kind of what we're talking about today. So to help us get into what we're hopeful for and whatnot, welcoming to the stage for the first time, maker extraordinaire and lady of very, very many talents, who hasn't been on the show yet and is on here for the first time, Chelsea Mainwaring.
Woo!
Chelsea!
Hey, Chelsea!
I've tried to get you on the show several times, and it's never worked out.
I'm nervous, but I'm happy to be here.
Hey! We're going to learn so much about Chelsea.
Yeah. And also joining us now, was handed this as I asked, how do you want to be introduced? And Joshua Lenner as Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
Okay.
I can barely handle it.
It is unbearable.
It is unbearable.
Oh,
Okay, that makes
the
sense.
heat in this thing is unbearable.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at your life.
Hang on, I'm just gonna get my bare feet out.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah? All right. Oh, boy.
Here we go. Oh, wow,
Next
you're
question,
sticking with
please.
it. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Oh, boy.
I love it.
Okay. It threw me off my game, actually. It did. Yep, it did. Okay.
Wait, first, the excitement of, we're talking about pandemic being, we got hope at the end of this tunnel.
Yes.
I'm registered for my vaccine dose, and how about you?
I just got my text message. I have yet to book the appointment, but yeah, it was very exciting. I did not expect to have I registered, and then I didn't expect the text to give me the reaction that I had. I got it, and I was like, oh, yeah. Like, I got rather excited. Because it's just, it instilled a fair bit of hope into this
Right?
weird-ass
Right?
experience.
What about yourselves?
I have not yet.
But you're registered. Hopefully
not
soon.
yet.
Oh, just
Not because I want it real bad, but not yet. Just the techie that,
yeah. Put your name in
haven't
there.
done it. I'm
Put your
doing
name
it.
in, and they will send you a text when they can. I know right now in Vancouver they are looking at high transmission areas first. So some people have already gotten theirs at our office, which is amazing.
Phone's not that high, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they might, even if you put your name in, they might, they might not even send you a message just yet.
Probably not.
But come on, vaccine.
I hope so.
Josh,
Yes?
have you put your name in? Are you going to get your vaccine soon?
I have not put my name in. I haven't received any notifications. I mean, obviously, when the time comes, I'm going to do it.
Yep. Yep.
And as well as anyone who's, worried about it should.
I actually just watched last night the episode from 2 weeks ago, John Oliver's Last Week Tonight, about the vaccines. And this has been, there's been a lot of the people with vaccine hesitancy, myself included. I was a little unsure of it. I remember talking to you and Matt about it because you guys are scientists, specifically biology, right? And the fact that it's the messenger RNA vaccine, so that it's a new type, and that made me go, that's weird. So it gave me hesitancy. But learning more about it, I resolved that hesitancy. So if you're feeling hesitant, you at home, there's a lot of credible research. Still, make your own mind up, but look into it, because I'm not as scared anymore.
Yeah.
I will say, I was a little worried.
What are you guys most excited about? Someday when we're post-pandemic, what's the first thing you want? Have you seen that gum commercial where everyone runs out into the
I
street?
love that.
Yeah,
It's so good.
that idea that you just want to hug somebody or you just want to make out with a stranger. What's the thing that you're most looking forward to?
One thing, it's not even that I most look forward to it, but I just remember it being super fun at events or concerts or something. You know when you go with your gang of people, then you're like, oh, I'll see you in a few minutes, and then you all just disappear and lose each other immediately. And then you get a few drinks and then music comes on. And it's just, you end up being sharing that passion of whatever it is with some total stranger right beside you, or having a talk in the bathroom with someone you don't know. But it's just such a lovely, fleeting moment. Those little things that are just shared moments with other people, even that you don't necessarily know. But they can be magical.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I'm just watching Josh try to drink. Oh, man. That's commitment to a bit, and I appreciate it.
What are you looking forward to?
Dancing.
Just in general?
I mean,
Have you not been dancing? You can do that yourself,
Well, I mean, I do dancing all the time. Just at the shop today, I was putting together models, and I was just listening to music, having a really good time. I'm I miss going out and dancing with people. I miss seeing faces and actually interacting and dancing and having a really good time. Just really positive atmosphere.
So, speaking of concerts, do you guys have any memorable? What's your most memorable concert experience from the before times?
The before four?
The
Feels
dog.
so long ago now.
It does. It's
Go way back.
it's weird.
Did you want to start with one while they ponder?
Yes.
Do you have one loaded in your brain?
I mean, I guess something about what you're talking about sparked one that I didn't think about till right now. This is a little weird, but I wasn't going to talk about this one because I forgot about it. But fleeting moments and something in the bathroom. This happened in a bathroom.
Whoa.
And I was at the Commodore downtown. I don't even remember what show it was, but I think it was some kind of metal show. And I was in the bathroom, and I'm at the urinal. There was no one else in there. And then a guy comes in next to me, and at first I was like, God damn it, because he took the urinal right next to me. There were plenty of vacant ones, and that's just weird. But I look.
I don't know where this is going, and I'm here for it.
It's not going where you think it is at all.
Just bear with the man.
It's just, yes.
Thank you, Bear.
And I was like, oh, God damn it. And then I had finished, and I turned, and I saw on his arm, he had a full sleeve of Thundercats tattoo. And it was all the supporting cast, so I could see what are they called? There was the two like young ones that fly around on their little airboards, and then I saw like Panthera, and I can't even remember Thundercats that well right now, Chitara, and I was like, oh man, and it was really, really well done. It was amazing, and I was like, man, your sleeve is fantastic. He's like, oh, you like? Oh man, yeah, I got it done in Victoria. He's all super excited about it, and he's like, what's the one thing that never happened in the show? And I was like, oh, Lion-O never killed Mumra. And he goes, and he rips his shirt off and turns around, and his entire back was Lion-O shoving his sword through Mumra. Like his whole back. I was like, that's fucking crazy. So it did involve a guy taking his shirt off in the bathroom. But it wasn't like that at all.
It's like a non-COVID friendly experience.
It was super bizarre, but like really cool. And I do miss those weird magic moments that come completely out of left field.
You just don't expect them. And you're
Yeah.
like, that was weird, and just no one else was there to experience it. But you're like, I'll just remember that. That's
Yeah.
weird and great.
And it was like a super nerdy moment that happened at a metal show.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which, and I mean, there's nerd metal, but this wasn't nerd metal. It was something heavier. I just don't remember what it was. Because I go to a lot of concerts, this is the thing.
So you've really missed out.
Yeah, I mean, I had, before the pandemic, I had tickets to Rage Against the Machine, which I'd never seen live. I had Tool tickets, and those then, disappeared. But apparently Rage Against the Machine's being rescheduled for next year. I'm worried about Tool because Maynard got COVID twice and has permanent lung damage, which is horrible to hear from a singer. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen. And
You guys have outstanding tickets waiting to be used? Well, that's...
I wish.
I haven't well, the last time I bought tickets, it was actually just when I joined up with AFL. It was to go see a show, Emancipator.
Oh,
And I was stoked to go see it. My best friend Tim, myself, and like I was just like 4 tickets sold, going, and then it was just like delayed, canceled,
sad.
and then ever since my heart was broken, you can't mend it back.
Oh.
But it's okay. It's okay.
It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
You can mend it.
Do you have a favorite concert moment that would be like, a standout thing from your memory of
There's
going
like
to a concert?
several. I mean, like as a concert, there was a time when I went to Iron Maiden with some friends of mine, and this was like when we were like young bucks. I was probably 19, 20, and I'm like scrawny, glasses, nerdy, I'm just like, Iron Maiden, here we go. I had no idea, I'd never been to a metal show, and then like this like crazy mosh pit starts happening on the floor, and I'm on the floor with all my friends, and we're like trash, like we're super drunk, but I'm just like, okay, like just kind of go with the flow. And one of my buddies, he goes to me, he's like, Josh, have you ever like crowd surfed? I'm just like, no, I've always seen it on movies. Next thing I know, he's grabbing me, throwing me up, and I'm just like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So
Crowd surfing's, that's another, man, I have a lot of stories. I had a mosh pit. I was crowd surfing at Green Day at Edgefest 96, I think it was, which was a big festival that there was like tons and tons of bands. But Green Day was playing, mosh pit got crazy, and I was crowd surfing and I fell. And normally if you fall while crowd surfing, someone will pick you up right away. Like there's just a sort of like unwritten code of like helping people.
yeah, it's like a friendly mosh pit.
A guy reached for me, and I reached for him, and then someone knocked him out of the way, and the mosh pit closed on top of me. And for a whole song, I just had people jumping on me. It was awful. I lost my wallet. I got up. Finally, someone, like, the song dies down, and they're between songs, and Billy Joe is talking on stage. Not Billy Joel.
concert.
Billy Joel, Green Day frontman. Very different. He got a piano.
Also great mosh pits.
Yeah.
This sounds scary. I thought we were talking about fun stories.
I still had a great time, but I came up, I was like, someone's like, I'm standing on someone. I'm like, fuck yeah, you are. They get off me, they help me up. I'm like bleeding and stuff. My chain is like hanging, my wallet is gone. It was rough. But did you remember yours? Or do you have one?
I was never trampled on, so that's a good thing.
I mean, yeah, that's a low bar.
Although I usually like my personal space, but I remember I went to Gogol Bordello. I used to go every year.
Oh, nice.
And a lot of my friends don't love that style of music, so when I went to that concert, it was like with my people. And I got as close as possible because the gypsy punk, it was just so fun and yeah, just the dancing.
so much
and
energy.
It's so much energy.
Yeah.
And like Eugene and the rest of it's all international musicians too. And it was just, you feel it. And it's just, even if you played it at home, it's not quite the same as when hearing it live and with everyone else who shares it, people who get it.
I was thinking about the difference between the really big concerts that you've been to. Like I saw Radiohead here in Vancouver, which is
nice.
you know, out at the university, and it was outside, and it was big, and it was amazing. But it was also, it's tons of people, and you're exploring, and it's really fun. But I think I miss most the smaller shows. Like when I saw Gogol Bordello, it was also downtown, smaller place. I saw Cake at a really small kind of venue.
You saw Cake in a small venue?
Yeah, and you're kind of
that's
all
rad.
kind of crammed into a small place, but you really are like, there's a lot of you in one place. And it was, I think I saw Flaming Lips at that same place. And so it's like, you know, a bunch of you all together, and it does kind of feel like, I don't know you, but we all love this thing together.
Yeah.
And it's such an experience.
I think
Exactly.
that's the thing I miss the most is whether it be a music festival or a concert, but especially those kinds of venues. It doesn't, not as much as like a movie or anything, but when you're in that kind of crammed in thing, it's people coming together with a common sort of goal, not really a goal, but a common interest and
It's
a
the
common
passion.
objective. And yeah, like you're all there for a mutual appreciation. And that's something I think I miss the most. I'm really looking forward to being in that kind of energy share.
That like euphoric, almost like a shared positive vibe
Yeah.
where everyone's just on that same level. Like you walk around, you hug, you high five.
Yeah.
That's the spirit of Comic-Con, you know, when you go there. I love Emerald City, the one that we didn't get to go to.
yes.
We had tickets. We were all like this close to making it. The pandemic was just like, oh, no. But that's one of those ones where it's still small enough that when you go, you have that same feeling of being like, these are all people who, you know, we're not judging each other. We're here for the things we love. There's this like shared metadata experience of like they're doing a joke that I get, which doesn't happen to me in my real life all the time. It's so wonderful, and I think it's just whatever you can nerd out about with your group, right? Like the thing that gets you really stoked that you're just sharing, whether it's with strangers or friends or whatever. It's just such a wonderful experience.
Yeah, I'm super looking forward to that. And it's not that we don't have a level of that here. It's just something of.
We're so lucky to be
We are very
surrounded
lucky.
here by all of these other
Yes.
like
Yes.
weirdo nerds.
Oh yeah.
But there's still
didn't
something to
expect
be
that.
said for. I mean, I know I've experienced the antithesis of it in like you know, like crowd mob mentality kind of thing. But it has the potential to be either way, and they're equally infectious. And it's something that happens with a large group of humans that you can't emulate. You can't do it without that large group of humans. And
It's
it is
interesting
just
that
like
it can be joy or it can be spite.
yeah.
And it does feel about like whether it's inclusive or exclusive.
Yeah.
You know, so whether you're just like, you love that thing I love, come on in.
Yeah.
Or whether it's like, you don't love that thing I love, you're on the outside. And
Or we both have, like, that's the one interesting thing about like going to metal shows, because it's sort of like everyone there has a mutual energy that they need to get out. Because the music isn't sunshine, but they're all there and everyone's like, yeah! Like it's still positive, but it's like an aggressive positivity.
Pent up aggression, and they always like seem to release it out in like mosh pits or like,
Yeah.
just before the show, like the lineup, everyone's super like, woo! And everyone's like, yeah! Like any cars that drive by, do 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 do.
Yeah.
do, yeah.
Yeah, it's infectious. It's great.
Electric.
yeah, when's the last time you like waited in line next to other people where you weren't like spaced out that way?
I don't know that I
Okay,
missed
wait,
the
wait.
lines.
So we're going to learn a little bit about Chelsea today, but let's talk about Lord of the Rings. But to wait in line for like that kind of a movie event, but you just like go and do those things. Like you just show up to places to do stuff like Game of Thrones.
True.
Because you're
but-
a pretty big like Fantasy nerd.
I'm a huge fantasy nerd. And speaking back of waiting in line, I went to see the first Lord of the Rings. I still have the movie stubs. I went to see the Fellowship of the Ring 13 times. Mostly by myself, because by then everyone else was like, no, once was good. And I was like, no more. Yeah. So I was kind of a hyper nerd with Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Which, yeah.
And then wait, did you work on one of those?
I was 13 when they came out, so no, I didn't work on those.
But did you work on The Hobbit?
Yeah, so when I heard that they were going to be filming The Hobbit in New Zealand, I just finished college becoming a jeweler, and my dream was to be able to make stuff on fantasy movies. So, and I had, a little bit of money, not much, but enough for a plane ticket, a one-way.
Oh.
And yeah, I booked it for New Zealand because it looked amazing. I wanted to go to all the cool spots that Lord of the Rings was filmed at. Because I did. I went to all the places they filmed everything. And I filmed myself with like fake cloaks on, running in front of things, and it was great. And then I was on a whim. I was like, I'm going to go to Weta and just put in my application. And at the door, they're like, no, that's not going to happen. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went to the gift shop next door and looking at all the cool stuff, bought loads of stuff, like the elf ears and a cool Weta shirt and stuff. And I was at the desk, I was like, can you look at my resume? Maybe you can, working here, you could pass it on. And they're like, okay, yeah, okay. And then it was just really lucky that someone who's in the art department, the art director was in there and was like, or he knew the art director, sorry. And after he came and he's like, oh, look at your resume. And then one thing led to another and I managed to get on.
Wait, that happened while you were in the gift shop?
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, wild.
I didn't get the call till like a few weeks later, but yeah. So it was just, he happened to see and have a look at it, and it's like, I'll take this and pass it along, and it seemed to work.
Okay, something about that story that intrigued me there was you bought a one-way ticket?
Yeah.
You scraped together enough money to buy a one-way ticket, so you just went like all in.
Yeah. I didn't know where I was staying when I got off, like in the airport. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I had a panic attack on the plane, like, oh my God. Yeah, so it was a little terrifying. But,
I've only ever had return plans. They're
they were expensive, so
that's how I travel.
One's good.
Have you done that any other time?
When I went to Belfast the first time.
Yeah, you showed up for another show.
I did the same thing. I didn't expect it to work another time, because that's just crazy.
But you're on screen the second time.
Which also wasn't expected. I went to go make some jewelry, which is like, yeah, we could probably use some help for making stuff. And then I fell into it was like the extras department. They're like, oh, well, why don't you just submit to, you could, be an extra or something. You look like a wildling, got long hair, So I was like, all right. And then I was suddenly brought in for an audition to like shoot arrows, and I had to use an umbrella to sword fight. And I was just like, what is happening?
That's the same.
It was a pink umbrella. They're like, all right, now fight something. And I was like fighting and get some shadow on the wall. And then, yeah, and then suddenly I was in it, which was super exciting.
That was for Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Man, you have a lot of nerd cred. Like a lot of nerd cred. That's impressive.
There were two things I was really obsessed with, so I was like, all right.
And those both involved one-way tickets?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is ballsy.
And work visas. So if, I didn't expect to like just come home right away. I was like, okay, well, if nothing happens, I'll just work around, which I did in both places, and had so much fun on other stuff as well.
Huh.
Yeah.
So wait, did you get work visas and then didn't get the one-way ticket?
Yeah. I think that was the deal. I think you had to have a visa in order to get a one-way ticket. So I was like, oh shit. So I had to go back and get the visa. So
that makes sense.
That kind of
never looked into it.
I mean, the story is amazing. We'll learn more about Chelsea, I'm sure. But it's also the travel component, which is, how long has it been since either of you were on a plane?
Oh, well over a decade for me.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I've traveled once on a plane and once on a plane out of country. Within country, I went to film festivals and I went to like Fantasia, like in Montreal and stuff like that. But I've only been out of the country once.
Really?
Where?
Barcello, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. It was for some really good friend of mine wedding, Nolan and Ellie Smith.
Oh.
Actually, they're about to, Ellie actually is just pregnant now, so they're working on their first child. And, they've been married for yeah, well over a decade now, so.
Well, she's working. His job is done.
No, the support is extremely important.
That's true. That's true.
Dads out there, please, don't give up.
No, I'm just saying. I mean,
But yeah, only out of the country once, and beautiful country, Dominican Republic, just crystal clear waters, beautiful people, so nice. Like obviously, like there's a lot of the, bartering system and stuff like that, which I never really like. I don't like taking things for less money than I can get.
oh.
I don't agree with it. I don't know. I've never liked that. It's just like, oh, this is really dope. I think this is that worth. And they'd be like, this is double than what I was asking, but okay.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. Have you ever worked sales?
No, that's why.
It's a weird, because I grew up thinking that like, if I want the thing, I need to make the money to get the thing, because that's the price of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I worked in commission sales that I realized that that's just North American culture. And because like Vancouver is super multicultural, dealing with people from all different kinds of cultures, I was like, man, people fucking argue price a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why, what, how, like, because I thought, just that. This is weird, but it's not. And it actually can be insulting if you're in another country and don't haggle, because they expect it. It's part of the culture.
Yeah, and like that's fine. Like I will probably like barter a little bit or go for it, but I won't try and go for like, oh, I can get this for super cheap because that's what I want to get it for. I want to not spend money. I don't know. Whatever things that I think are worth is what that I'm gonna pay for.
That's fair. I mean,
And
again, that's how I.
and everyone else can think that way too, and that's why they will probably barter down a little bit lower, right?
Yeah.
But like I was saying, like beautiful country, and when I went there, I was just like, because I'm super young, and I was just like, I love sharks, so I was just like, I want to swim with a shark, and so it's just like, what? Why? No.
Yeah. Why?
What? And all excellent questions.
Ash has questions.
I don't have a question. I just want to tell you that I've swam with sharks a couple times, and it was super cool.
Nice. And when I got there, I was just like, I don't even care how it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get hurt, but so I swam with nurse sharks.
Oh.
Yeah, like they're the puppy dog of the seas or whatever. But when the locals, like when they had us, they were just like, yeah, like they don't have teeth and stuff, but they're still sharks.
Yeah.
They're bigger than you. And I was just like, I don't care now. But I went from like the head all the way down to the tail, and this thing is like 7 feet underwater, and just like the smoothest skin going one direction, and it was the most exhilarating feeling I've ever had.
Is that your goal? So like, when you can travel next, are you like, sharks, I'm doing it again?
No, I already checked that off.
Okay.
Because I watched too many other horror movies where I'm just like, no.
You're not trying to build
They
your
got
way up to,
superpowers
like-
now. They're super scary and dangerous. They can like fly and go in tornadoes. Like they're super freaking scary. This is real, people.
What is your goal then? The first thing that you can book that's like a vacation destination, that you're vaccinated, everyone else is, the pandemic is under control, COVID-19 is a thing we manage,
Everything's
as
fine.
well as we manage the flu. Where are you gonna go first?
Good question.
I don't know. I love where I am. Like this is such a beautiful country. Like I don't have anything specific that I really want to go, but my brother does really want to go to Costa Rica.
Oh.
And I think I might do it because I've heard nothing but good things. I really do want to travel somewhere, but honestly, I've always been really competent here.
Oh. I mean, I feel the same. I mean, when people like look up the meaning of their names? Like, what is your Trevor means homesteader.
Means homestead?
Homesteader.
Homesteady.
Homesteader.
Oh.
Yeah. So someone who like, piles up food and takes care of the home and tends to the fields and that kind of crap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
Oh, that
someone
makes
who
sense.
preserves their own jellies and that kind of shit.
Wonderful.
No, that makes sense because you do a lot for us here.
Oh, okay. I mean, thank you.
No, thank you.
But I like you. I haven't done tons of travel. I've only been to a few places. I've been to Hawaii 3 times, weirdly. Twice is like when it wasn't my choice as a child, and then once as an adult. But I did, however, have a really cool trip with Ash. We went to Guatemala and Belize. And I don't know about where I want to go first, but probably the most magical day of my life was because of traveling. And something that none of us might miss, but I'm going to force upon all of you now, and you at home, is a little slideshow from traveling.
Oh, how embarrassing.
So I'm going to tell you a story. So we were in Guatemala, and we were hosteling, we were backpacking, and we were at this place called Utopia. That was the name of the hostel. And it was in very jungly area. And this one day we did this big excursion from the hostel to a nearby, it started off with a spelunk tour through a cave. That's the cave there. And from there, we were all given a single candle each to enter into this cave. There's me and Ash with our candles.
So cute.
So going into the cave, it had a lot of water, and you actually had to swim while holding a candle and go traversing through the water. There's Ash in the water. I had already made it through to the other side, I guess. I went first, which is weird because I'm a horrible swimmer, like really bad. I sink. I do not swim. I do not float. I drowned when I was a child. Yeah, no, I was dead for a minute. It was rough.
Oh, shit.
I feel like that's another story.
It is a whole other story. Not for today.
No.
But I did it, and okay. So interesting thing that happened in that cave was Ash and I both ended up facing some fears. We get through that water, and then we get to inside the cave. There's a waterfall, and there was a ladder next to it. Or there was a rope in the middle of the waterfall, and you could, in the water, like scale up a rope.
Oh,
Neither of us did that. A couple people did. Most people took the very, very wet ladder. We go up the ladder, and we explore a little further into the cave. We get to like some really cool openings. But on the way back, everyone else ended up having to go down because Ash had a full-blown panic attack at the top of this ladder.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I didn't know that Ash had a fear of heights, but it was super activated at the top of this ladder. So then it got to Ash having to face this fear of heights and this like scary ladder to just like rock formation beneath. And
Okay, not only was it heights, but it was like a small opening in a cave going down to like a ladder that was like off to the side, and you have to like crawl backwards to like get your legs over to the ladder, and also it's soaking wet, and also I have bad knees, man.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So the only option is to sit in the dark with your one candle and hyperventilate. That's all you can do.
Which is what you were doing. I think I ended up taking your candle and like getting her through it, and then encouraging her and getting her to go backwards and feeling like the rung of the ladder. Eventually, we got her down. Now, by the time we're at the bottom of the thing,
Does not sound fun.
we're at the bottom of the ladder, and you saw that thing that Ash was swimming through, the little bit of water there. So everyone else, at this point, seen from a freaking horror movie, we've each got candles, 2 little candles, and everyone else is way the hell down the cave. It's just darkness around you, and then like the group of 20 people near the mouth of the cave. And we're like, oh my God.
Oh, no.
And then Ash goes through the water and swims. She swims like a fish. And she just kept going. And I was at the back in the darkness with this one candle, just like. I get in the water, horrible swimmer. Again, the water wants to eat me. And I'm trying to like make my way through the water and hold my candle above. And eventually I'm just like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. Oh fuck, I'm gonna die. And the candle goes in the water. And it's just dark and all I can see is light like 150 feet away. And I'm like,
Follow the light.
oh my God.
The light at the end of the tunnel, just keep swimming.
Yeah.
Just keep swimming.
Oh, it was awful. It was totally terrifying, but I didn't die. So that was great.
Apparently, yeah.
You didn't?
No, I'm still
Okay.
here. I mean, unless this is all just a fever dream, which is possible.
In this day and age, yeah, who knows?
Simulation, yeah. It's a save file. So, okay, this was, though, the most magical day. So we both faced some fears. Then afterwards, there was like a giant rope swing, people like going into this river. And that was awesome. I didn't do that. Then we went up this crazy hike to an overlook. And Alex, if you bring up the other picture, the next cool thing in this jungle was you go through this crazy hike. There was howler monkeys in the trees.
Oh my gosh.
And there's an
Beautiful.
overlook.
Wow.
This place is called Samuk Champay, and I highly recommend it to anyone. But those are natural limestone pools, and it's hard to see here, but you can see a person for scale. There's people there, and all the little like rivulets that are going between the pools, the water has smoothed the stone into like natural water slides.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
It's amazing. And so from there, we went down to the pools. We hung out in the pools for quite a long time, and then we rode inner tubes. If you go to the next picture, all the way down the river, right back to the hostel we were staying at.
Wow.
Yeah, best
Amazing.
freaking
Okay,
day of
so
my life.
look, I'm not saying that we need to do this as an entire company, but I'm also not saying that.
I'm up for it.
Right?
Natural
Right?
water slides.
Yes.
I don't know. That
That's
sounds
super
pretty good.
dope. Actually, like my father, he told me about stories just outside Calgary. There's something just like that.
Really?
Where there's like moss and like sediment where you can just do that and use it as like a natural water slide. Yeah, apparently it's just outside Calgary.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that's doable.
Yeah.
So
Hope COVID thing's over.
You know, that's only like 12 hours for us. You know, Dad, wherever, if you're watching, just let people know where
Yeah.
that slide is, or don't, and just tell us.
Yeah.
I will say, the hostel that we were at, this Utopia place, also had its own cacao fields. So we got to make chocolate from scratch. Can't do that in Calgary.
No.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure cacao doesn't grow in Canada.
But we do live really close to the mountains. We could all go like
We can't
whitewater
make
rafting.
chocolate
That would be
anywhere
so
else.
cool.
Yeah?
That would be super fun.
Yeah. I remember I was whitewater rafting with friends once, and my friend Sherman, she just could not understand that you have to keep both hands on the paddle the whole time. So like she's just like flying around. And then eventually we end up in a nice still kind of pool area. And we're in the mountains, and we're, Alberta, between Alberta and BC is so beautiful. And the guide looks at me and says, "Can you swim?" And I said, "Yeah, I swim really well." But before I even finished the sentence, which was going to end with, "But I don't have my glasses on," he just goes,
no.
"Push," and he just knocks me out of the boat and dumps me into the water. And because it's not that deep, but I can't see very well. So I'm just like, great, I'm in the water, I'm swimming, but also, where are you guys?
Oh no.
So I was just like, because I was really worried, because I took my glasses off because Sherman's paddle was flying around everywhere and hitting everyone in the face.
A pile of sticks. Oh, hey guys.
Yeah, I was just like, my friends. But yeah, it was a little bit just, I was like, they're getting farther away from me. I think.
Oh, no.
I don't know where anything is happening. Yeah,
That
Or
sounds
you're
like
getting
hell to
closer
me.
wherever you need to go.
that's true.
Whitewater rafting's always kind of go sideways.
But isn't that's part of
It's
what
part of
makes-
it.
And
Yeah.
I think what we're talking about when we think about our favorite adventures when we're traveling is the things that didn't go to plan,
Always. Yeah.
right?
Every time.
Wait.
Or it makes the best stories.
That's the things you think about that didn't go to plan?
Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the things that happened that you didn't expect are probably your best story.
Oh, okay.
Because it's
Right?
a surprise. There's that like chemical that like shoots to your brain where like, this is incredible. I didn't expect this at all.
Makes you feel a little
And
bit
it's
more alive.
happening. This is happening. This is real. And it's just like.
Why does it happen
yeah.
more when we travel?
Yeah.
Isn't
So you're
that-
outside of your comfort zone, I guess.
Yeah.
You're trying new things, and then you don't understand really what's happening, and then you're kind of forced to kind of just give in to what's going on. You're like, well, okay, I guess I'm going this over here. Like, oh God, shit.
And then, so I mean, because you've traveled for both of these like fun work experiences, but have you been anywhere else where you've just opened yourself up for whatever happens is this crazy adventure I'm on?
Yeah.
Such as?
There's been lots of crazy ones.
Anything you can share that's like internet friendly? Oh.
Well, just lots of like really like culturally different ones. Like Morocco was one that was really different than I expected.
Matt's been to Morocco. I've heard it's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible, especially if you feel like you're just somewhere totally different. There's like castles made out of mud and clay.
But because a lot of the signs
they're
are
called-
in French, I understand it's
Yeah.
actually not so bad for Canadians because if you
Yeah.
can speak passable or read passable French.
Bilingual.
I thought I could understand
Yeah.
a little bit, but then I got nothing. And I was like, I have no idea. It was beautiful sounding. Like the mix of like Arabic and French together was gorgeous to hear. It was really cool. But man, that was like, it wasn't like a crazy, it was just so eye-opening. It was like somewhere else I've never been before. And half the places there was no like Wi-Fi or internet, so you just had to kind of go with what the locals said as well. And you know, you kind of had to, you know, felt risky, but safe at the same time. But
Sorry, the no Wi-Fi or internet thing reminded me of something at that same hostel. There was no, in the main place you stayed, there was no Wi-Fi. You had to walk out of it and go up to this little shack, and the Wi-Fi was called "Get off your phone and go play." It was awesome.
I love that, which is
So
true.
what travel experience do you think has had the most effect on who you are as a person?
Oh, dang.
Ooh, I think they were all different for like different reasons, but I think maybe the first time I really got away was when I was 17. I went to Thailand, and just so many things went wrong that I think that's what kind of like shaped me to be like, okay, I've got to figure stuff out in the moment. Like, oh my God, like not everything's so like easy, and it was just one thing after another. You know, the whole time we were going to be jungle hiking for a month, and then at the very end we were going to have the beach relaxation, like the real like luxurious time. I sliced my foot open the first day that we're there, and we're way out in the jungle. And so I'm just like, oh my God, it's fine. I'm just putting like literally that super glue Band-Aid over it, like on the bottom of my foot. And I'm like, it's fine. Though each day it's growing a bit bigger and a bit bigger, and I'm ignoring it. You know, and
Wait, the cut was getting bigger, or like an
it was
infection?
like it was like healing over, but I could tell it was super infected.
Something was up.
Oh no!
Yeah, something was up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, you're like, no, this is great. I'm gonna ignore it. We'll be on the beach soon. It'll be fine. And then it was just like one thing after another. We finally made it to like by the end when we finally got to the beach kind of resort area on Koh Samet. It was bad, like really bad. I went to this little Thai little hospital, and they had to. I don't know if I want to get into details, but it was really bad.
Oh, please do.
Okay, they stabbed
The
it.
bear must know.
Stuff happened. Yeah, my friend was with me. They had to like pierce it with this big rod. She fainted. The doctor didn't know who to attend to because we're both screaming. She passes out on the floor. And the nurse is just like, oh, I'm like, you know, there's fluid from my foot flying, passed out person on the floor. Anyway, that was
Right
fine.
on your bare foot?
Oh.
Right on my barefoot.
I mean, I barely caught it. Well, that was embarrassing. Oh.
Oh wow! For the record, he asked me to throw a pin at him for the bear jokes.
When I was looking. Well, now that I've broken everyone to their bare minimum, welcome to a fuzzy talk. I'm Conan, the barbarian.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, I'm so sorry.
Hey, Trevor, what's your favorite pie? Is it blackberry?
No!
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
That was right on the tooth.
I threw it over here.
Did you hear it? Did you?
right
It
off.
bounced off my tooth.
It bounced off your tooth? It didn't hit you in the eye?
No, it hit my tooth.
Okay, good. I thought it hit you in the eye.
Oh yeah, no, it hit my eye. Now that we're live, everyone know that it hit my eye, my bare eye.
Your bare eye.
I swear I saw it in slow motion. It just like blinked out.
It's so cute and so sad.
Okay. Well, that was
It's the
fun.
bare necessities, simple
Funny,
mental
I
bare
have a
necessities.
story, not as like remote and exciting, but I was playing beach volleyball in Alberta, where I mean we don't have
want it
beaches,
back?
and the weather was really bad. And I cut my foot open because
Oh, no.
it was so cold that it's Alberta, and beaches. So my feet were so numb I didn't really feel it.
Oh no.
And then I kept playing the game and we finished. And then I go to my friend Tony and I'm like, oh, I think my foot is bleeding. And I kind of pick my foot up to show her, and it's just like cut open between my toes, like blood deep. And it's just packed with garbage because I've just been running around in the sand.
Oh.
And she just, and she's just like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, I think we should go to the emergency room because it's really deep. But she's driving and she's just getting whiter and whiter. So we get to the emergency room and she almost faints. So they run over to her and they're like, oh my God, what's wrong? And she's just like, I gotta, and she can't talk. So they immediately start attending to her. And then eventually she's just like, you should, my friend. And then I got a bunch of needles in between my toes and they stitches. Yeah.
Oh, in between your toes.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
To do the stitches because they had to blast all the sand out.
Oh.
Because it got all really gross.
They had to clean it, yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite. I didn't get an infection, thank goodness, but yeah.
But still, the toes.
I'm sure you got all sorts of weird shots.
Oh yeah. And then it just really sucked because the end of my vacation, the luxury part, I was on antibiotics, and with that you can't be in the sun, so it was just like everyone else was on the beach, like volleyball, margaritas, and I'm under this like umbrella, all grumpy, with all wrapped up. And then I thought I'd rent a moped, and then I crashed that, so that was more road rash. And
wait, what?
Yep.
Wow. Thailand's not your place.
Twice I crashed on it. The
Wow.
first time the brakes just didn't work, so I hit a little grove of palm trees. So much road rash, made me even, so I was more wrapped up. The hospital was like, oh, you again. And then I was like, oh,
You were 17?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, well, I'm all bandaged up. I'll go with my friend on the back of his bike. And he crashed his too. And then we were both back in the hospital a third time.
Holy crap.
So I don't know if this means we should take Chelsea to Thailand or not.
I mean, that's a solid point, because either you want to like make better memories or
They were great memories, though, weirdly enough.
or it's just cursed for you. I know, that's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, it is weird, but
I saw your hand up, Ash.
I just saw that we were telling travel foot stories, and I have a really short one that I would like to interject, if I may.
Go for it.
Okay, so I was in Cambodia at the time, and there was like all these like big dragon boat races happening, and there was a team that won, and they decided to come to the hostel that I was staying at to celebrate and have dinner and drinks. And so we started making friends with them, and I taught them how to leg wrestle. And so we started leg wrestling, and we had like a whole tier system of like who we would battle and what have you. And I was the eventual grand winner of the leg wrestle with all these, all the people that were staying at the hostel and the people that just run the dragon boat racing competition. And I was so excited that I jumped up in excitement and slammed my foot down, and I slammed my foot down on a glass, and I had a shard of glass that went through my foot and almost all the way up to my ankle. Oh! And also, being in Cambodia, because the whole like Pol Pot thing was in the 70s, there wasn't a whole lot of like experienced doctors around. And so there was no doctors to go see in the area. And so I had to fry an onion, which is like an old Ukrainian thing, stick it on my foot to draw out the glass, and it eventually came out.
Because it'll pull out all those freaking toxins.
And the glass itself, because it was too far under my foot to be able to grab it.
Oh, because I know the onion like pulls out toxins. I've known that, but I didn't know it pulled out glass.
What?
I didn't know the onion
Onions
thing.
pull out toxins?
I knew lard does that.
Does it not?
I didn't know the onion thing, though.
I know
You're the
onions
biologist.
smell.
Doesn't mean I know weird like witch doctor BS from
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if
from
anything,
the
you would
brain.
try to disprove
I don't know
those,
that.
right?
Like, I'm not an onionologist. I don't know that stuff.
I was expecting so much from you. This is just unbearable.
I have questions about how this works.
About the onion thing?
I have more questions than just the onions. I have many questions. I mean, I know that onions are full of compounds, most of them sulfur-based, that are antimicrobial. So I get why you might slap an onion on something, but why it would pull glass out, curious.
Yeah, that's.
And
But
why,
It worked?
what?
It worked?
Okay, so here's the thing.
It didn't work.
Here's the thing.
Continue.
You made tweezers.
There
with
was
the
no
onion.
doctors around. I called my mom going, there's glass in my foot and there's no one around that can take it out. What do I do? And she's like Ukrainian, and she was like, here's an old Ukrainian remedy. Get the cook to fry up some onion and plaster it to your foot, and you'll be able to pull it out in the morning. And I was. I don't know if that's just because my body was actively pushing it out, or due to the onion, or what have you. But the glass came out. I don't know if it was the onion or not, to be totally honest.
Hag magic.
Did you just call her mom a hag?
Yes. It's a compliment.
Whoa!
It is a compliment.
No, I'm with Roz on this one.
Swamp witch compliment.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything because it's your mom.
Oh, she can take a joke. Don't worry about it.
It's just the definition of hag, you know. It's pretty mean.
I mean,
All
don't
right.
we all aspire to such lofty goals?
I
I
want
definitely
to
do.
throw your own question from earlier back at you. End of pandemic. Everyone's vaccinated. You can go anywhere. Where are you going?
So many places. I don't know what order to do it in. I'm in a group chat with my two best friends. We call ourselves a little tripod because we're stronger. We've got 3 legs.
No.
There's 3 of us. Yeah. It's okay.
Wouldn't you have 6 legs? Anyway.
No, not the way we party. And we're super. No, I'm the weird nerdy one. I had tickets to a Harry Potter musical. That's what I'm
Ooh.
losing out on. It's a classical Harry Potter music. But so the 3 of us are in a group chat where we're kind of debating about like what do we want from our experience when we go, and it's pretty much kind of resolved around a swim out bar and a beach and drinks.
Okay.
So hence the little bit here. But I know that Matt loves to travel. But Matt likes to go to places that aren't resort-based. He wants to go to somewhere where he can get off the trail and meet the people and, you know, barter for the weird thing and find this, like, weird instrument. We have this weird guitar from Mexico that he found as a student and, like...
Sweet.
Sure. And go to places that are, like, on your bucket list now. There are places that I've always been like, I'm going to go there someday. I'm gonna ride a camel in a desert someday. And... before it was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. But now I'm like, I want to do those things for real because now it's such a treasure. Before it was just like I could do this, I just don't.
Yeah, I guess
now it's
that's-
like it's not always an option.
It's increased the value of things because we haven't been able to. It's
Yep.
like the you don't know what you got till it's gone thing, and the ability to go do those things, having that taken away makes them that much
Totally.
more desirable.
And I have this really long list of places where I don't really like Christmas.
You don't like Christmas?
No.
That's fair.
But Matt loves Christmas. And
The
so I had
image
like,
of Christmas, or like the celebration, the family get together, or
I
just like
Halloween
North
is my
American
thing, and
Christmas.
Christmas was always like it's a thing you do. You get time off, you hang out. It's great.
what? We get time off for Halloween?
No, for Christmas.
Christmas.
We should.
We should.
That would be
Yeah.
great,
Halloween
though.
should be
Right.
freaking.
Yeah.
Hashtag Halloween is the new Christmas.
Yep.
So,
'Kay,
yeah,
sorry.
everyone's in. Christmas, who cares? But Matt loves Christmas. So I had made this big list of like places that in the world where they celebrate like cool winter festivities around that time of year. And, you know, like, could we go to...
Krampuslauf.
Yeah, right, but like
Yeah.
weird castles in Europe that are beautiful in the winter. And now I'm like, I wanna take people to the places that excite them and be a part of those experiences that I feel like I didn't make it a priority before because I felt like I could do it. And now that it's been such I can't book those trips. I just felt like as soon as I can, I want to go places with the people I love.
Because
and
what
do
if this
things
happens again?
that excite them? Who knows? Or, you know, life is short. Anything can happen. And now I've been a part of a global pandemic that
Yep.
has just forced everybody to live in their homes. And I have survived in my tiny downtown apartment with my boyfriend. And maybe we should go somewhere else and not murder each other.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
But I'd take my mom somewhere too. That would be amazing.
You guys have a place, never mind where you're going first, but do you have a place that you've always wanted to go and never have?
Ooh.
Mine's Stonehenge.
Never have? You go ahead, please.
That's interesting you said about Stonehenge and that you were just bringing up winter things. I spent winter solstice in Stonehenge.
Oh,
Of course.
Which was the coolest thing ever.
Okay, how muddy is it?
Extremely.
wait.
Okay.
When
It
you
was
say
pouring
in
rain.
Stonehenge, were you amongst them?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then somehow I got initiated as a druid inside of Stonehenge, and I got to like lay in the middle of it, and then people were like saying stuff, and then I had to say stuff too. I don't remember what I was saying. It was 3 in the morning, and then we watched the sunrise, and there
Oh,
were
that's
people dressed
amazing.
up in really cool like Green Man outfits, and I had like a cool outfit but covered in rain jackets and
Wait.
pants.
That explains so much.
Are you like officially initiated as a druid? Can you take me and let me get in? Because apparently you can't even get up to the stones anymore.
No, it's on solstice you can though.
You can?
Yeah, on
Okay, because
winter
I've
solstice.
always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go summer solstice because I'm a June baby.
And they say summer is crazy. Like if I was
Oh.
to go, like winter there was a lot of people, but also it was pouring rain, so there was hundreds of people. But you could go up and you could touch the stones and go into the center, and then if you're chosen, you could then go into the very center and have these rituals and stuff. And if you wanted, you could even go outside and talk to different like druid parties and be initiated as a druid as well at
yeah.
solstice if you wanted to.
I'm in.
I knew
And
it.
it's really cool.
Okay, Josh.
Yeah.
Where have you always wanted to go? Don't say Canada.
I mean, I've always wanted to go to Japan.
Oh.
I always have. I
Crowded.
I grew up watching a lot of anime. I love a lot of their movies. I think their culture is extremely beautiful, as any culture anywhere around the world. But it's just I've always been super fascinated with Japanese. I absolutely think that I would have a really good time there. But I'm just I don't know. I feel like I'd sit out like a sore thumb, and then people would be like, "Yeah, get out of here, get out of here," and then give me the boot.
I don't think so. I think you should go.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've some friends
It's
that have gone to
super
Japan.
expensive.
I haven't been.
It is super expensive.
Yeah, that's on our list. I
couple of
haven't
places
haven't
that
been, but
are-
I've heard it's great.
Are really expensive, so it felt prohibitive before. But now it's like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Also, I have a funny feeling that at the end of all of this, there's going to be some discounted flights. Because I think
deals.
I'm not worried about going to the places as much as I am getting on a plane. Like I already kind of had when there's takeoff and landing is when I kind of grip the seat a bit. When you're up in the air, it's like, okay, we're good, whatever.
I hate
But
that.
it's the initial bits that I'm like, oh, I don't like this.
I am a super
Man is meant to be on the ground.
I just can't, as soon as my inner ear goes off, I'm gonna barf everywhere.
Oh no.
I have occasionally on a flight, I don't know why it happens, but when it does, it's like, I'm gonna barf. I can't control it. So my body reacts
Oh.
by falling asleep. So I get
Lucky.
on,
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's so
know.
lucky.
I know, I get on a plane and I'm fast asleep, so usually my friends will take pictures of me snoring on the plane. But I'm like, it's a defense mechanism, stop doing that to me.
Yeah.
It's so I don't barf on you. You should
Yeah.
be thankful.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they
I wish I
obviously
had
take care of
that.
it.
You had your hand up, Ash?
The chat wants Josh to know that they would love him in Japan. I'm not sure why they weren't specific.
Wait, is it someone from Japan saying open arms, send the bear man?
Send the bear man.
He's big in Japan.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Okay.
But it's someone that has been to Japan and lived there for a while.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, are they suggesting that I myself, as Joshua Lenner, go to Japan just as myself, or be like rock the bear coat all flight, and it'd be unbearable? I'd have to be in bare feet, but then make it to Japan, and then just live life as you would in bare necessities.
Yes.
That one.
Wow. And on that note, I want to thank you guys for being here, and this was a lot of fun. And
What? That's it?
oh yeah,
Keep going.
So thank you both. Thank you guys for watching, and this was our last time live streaming to YouTube. Get a Twitch account. Next week it's going to be live on Twitch on Thursday. You can only watch it after the fact. If you like the chat, you're going to have to chat on Twitch. Sign up to the Twitch account. Follow us, twitch.tv/afilthylot. We'll see you next week. Stay filthy.